What happens to your body when you cut out sugar? Data for daily sugar intake suggests up to 65% of adults living in the U.S. regularly exceeds the dietary guidelines recommendation, a statistic that illustrates just how much sugar we consume. This intake contributes to obesity and can increase our risk for heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, depression, and even some types of cancer. Have you ever pondered what would happen if you absolutely avoided sugar for 2 weeks? I'll go through that now so you can understand what happens to your body during that procedure. The information on the finehealth channel is offered solely for general and educational reasons and does not replace professional medical guidance or treatment. For any ailments or medical concerns you may have, please get advice from a physician. 1. Weight loss. Eating the same foods, but without the added sugars normally in them, means your total caloric intake decreases, which could make it easier to lose weight and keep it off. A review of the evidence in a 2021 clinical diabetes study found that the overconsumption of added sugars contributes to overweight and obesity. There is likely nothing special about the effect of added sugars on body weight. It just comes down to excess calories, although the less satiating nature of simple carbs may also play a role. Swapping foods with added sugars for those with little or no added sugars, including beverages, breakfast cereal, and yogurt, can save hundreds of calories without changing the amount of food you eat. 2. Have more energy. An increase in overall energy is one of the more immediate perks you may notice and is largely due to experiencing fewer highs and lows in blood sugar. While sugar may give an initial rush and burst of energy, what follows is a major drop in glucose, leaving you tired, lethargic, and a little hangry. Replacing those added sugar calories with complex carbs, as well as foods with natural sugars and fiber-like fruit, provides a longer, steadier supply of energy. Also adding to this energy may be the fact that you're getting longer, more restful sleep, an effect seen in individuals who consume less added sugar. 3. Improved skin health. Cutting out excess added sugar and keeping blood glucose within healthy parameters may slow the rate at which skin ages. A high sugar diet leads to the production of ages, advanced glycation end products, and ages are associated with acceleration in the skin's aging process. In fact, research suggests that decreasing sugar intake may slow the aging effects that ages have on skin significantly, especially when your diet includes lots of fruits and vegetables. 4. Less fatigue. You feel less fatigue, especially after eating a meal, when you stop sugar for 2 weeks. When you are eating sugar regularly, you usually feel tired after you eat. But if you do 2 weeks without sugar, you're going to find that you're not going as tired as before after you eat. This means you will no longer have high sugar levels, which make the brain tired. You can achieve normal sugar levels easier, which makes your brain awake. 5. Your sugar cravings will decrease. Frequent intake of sugary foods and beverages fuels more cravings. This is because sugar triggers the release of dopamine, which stimulates the brain's reward center, similar to how addictive drugs impact the brain. Because of this, it's not unusual to experience mild withdrawal symptoms such as headaches, anxiety, and greater than normal sugar cravings for a few days when you cut sugar out. Ride this out for a few days, though, and cravings for sugary, high-carb foods will begin to decrease significantly. To minimize side effects, consider cutting added sugar intake back gradually rather than going cold turkey. 6. Better kidney function. You are going to experience better kidney function as an effect when you stop eating refined sugar. Take a look at people with diabetes. The kidney is usually the target for their problems. So, when you cut down the amount of sugar and reduce carbohydrates, you are going to improve kidney function greatly. Knowing what happens when you stop eating sugar may help you think better about your food choices and nutritional intake and calories. Too much sugar is toxic for the body, and you need to minimize consumption if you want to experience great health benefits. Start reducing sugar intake now and try this no sugar diet plan for 2 weeks to experience wonderful results. 7. Your appetite and hunger will decrease. Leptin is a key hormone that regulates appetite. It tells the brain when to eat, when to stop eating, and when to speed up or slow down metabolism. But when you have obesity and insulin resistance, the body becomes more resistant to the message that you are full. Improving glucose management slowly restores leptin activity in the body, and cutting out added sugars is a key component for making this happen. 8. You'll decrease your diabetes risk. Studies have shown that high sugar consumption, especially of sweetened beverages, can increase the odds of developing type 2 diabetes. Scientists explain this in large part by the weight that people gain when they consume lots of calories in the form of added sugar. Being overweight or obese is often accompanied by problems with blood sugar control and reduced sensitivity to insulin that leads to type 2 diabetes. Cutting added sugars makes it easier to manage weight and to keep blood glucose levels within healthy parameters, both of which lower your diabetes risk. This stems from the fact that added sugars help to fuel a cyclical cascade of effects that cause metabolic and hormonal changes to increase risk of diabetes. Added sugars contribute excess calories. Excess calorie intake leads to weight gain. Weight gain, along with higher blood glucose levels from consuming added sugars, leads to insulin resistance. Insulin resistance leads to more weight gain. But the reverse is also true. When researchers pooled the results of 3 large prospective observational studies of almost 200,000 American men and women published in 2019 in Diabetes Care, they found that people who replaced one daily sugary beverage or fruit juice with water or another type of unsweetened drink had up to a 10% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes later in life. So, cutting added sugars is a key factor in stopping this cycle and slashing your risk. 9. Your heart and brain will be healthier. Some observational studies have shown that people who overconsume added sugar are at a greater risk of developing cardiovascular disease, independent of other risk factors, like weight. Study found that higher added sugar intake was associated with a greater risk for conditions that affect the cardiovascular system, including heart disease and stroke. A high sugar diet may raise blood pressure, increase inflammation, and cause the liver to pump harmful fats into the bloodstream, all of which can contribute to the development of cardiovascular disease. 10. Get fewer cavities. You've heard it since you were a kid: sugar causes tooth decay. When not brushed or washed away, the sugar and other carbohydrate on your teeth becomes food for the bacteria that live in your mouth, which produce an acid that takes minerals out of the enamel and can eventually create a hole. Foods with natural sugars, such as apples, are not associated with cavities, but added sugars are. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more informative videos.